it out with y'all.
Well, hey there, folks. This is Cutting Through It. Quick takes on the stuff that matters, without the fluff. If you want the full backstory on who I am and what we're building over here, there's a Watch This First video at the top of the playlist. Worth your time if you've got a little to spare. Let's go ahead and get into today's topic. Some of you have been watching for a while now, and some of you have noticed that Cal occasionally says things your Sunday school teacher wouldn't approve of. Fair observation. Some of you appreciate it, a few of you don't. And some of you have probably wondered whether a guy who talks about Scripture on a platform like this ought to have a cleaner mouth. It's a legitimate question. I want to be straight with you about something right up front here. I knew this was going to make some folks uncomfortable, so I didn't take it lightly. I sat with this question for a good long while, ran it through every tool we've been building in the Thinking Through It series, looked at the text honestly, and made a deliberate decision not to sanitize, not because I don't care what comes out of my mouth, but because I do. Here's the rundown on how I came to land where I did on this. Most folks, no matter where they land on this issue, haven't really read about or examined it all that carefully. They tend to have a gut reaction to swearing that is shaped by their personal theologies and worldviews, like we talked about over in the Thinking Through It series. They're putting their feelings, experiences, and tradition before the actual text of Scripture. There are two ditches folks tend to fall into on this one. Ditch 1. Christians should never say anything that makes anybody uncomfortable. Clean language, safe topics, nothing that might offend the lady in the third pew. It sounds respectful, but what it actually produces is a version of Christianity that's so sanitized it doesn't smell like real life anymore. And real people can smell that from a mile away. Ditch 2. God doesn't care what comes out of your mouth. Anything goes, no standard at all. Words are just words. Also wrong. Both ditches are easy. Both ditches are lazy. And neither one of them has actually read the text. So let's cut through the BS and take a look at what the Bible actually says. Ephesians 4, verse 29. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs. Now read that carefully. It doesn't say never use a rough word. It doesn't hand you a list of forbidden syllables. It gives you a standard, helpful for building others up according to their needs. The measure isn't comfort, it's purpose. Is what you're saying useful? Is it honest? Does it serve the person hearing it? That's the standard. Colossians 3 verse 8 is where the actual prohibition lives. But now you must also rid yourselves of all such things as these: anger, rage, malice, slander, and filthy language from your lips. Look at what's on that list. Anger, rage, malice, slander. Those aren't just words. They're weapons. Language used to tear people down, to destroy reputations, to express contempt for other human beings. That's what's prohibited, not plain speech, not honest language, not words that make somebody flinch because they're true. Cruelty, malice, language weaponized against people. There's a difference between a word that makes you uncomfortable and a word that degrades you. The Bible is concerned with the second one. And here's the thing people forget when they want to make this argument. Jesus didn't exactly talk like a greeting card. He called the Pharisees whitewashed tombs and a brood of vipers. He looked the religious leaders of his day dead in the eye and said, "You are of your father the devil." Pretty strong language for those days. Plain, hard, accurate. Accurate. Was that unwholesome talk? Or was it exactly what those people needed to hear, delivered without apology? The standard was never soft. It was always true and useful. The mission of this channel is to meet real people in the real world and give them straight answers. And sometimes that means talking like one. Real people don't talk like textbooks. Real people don't live in sanitized environments. Real people deal with hard things and they use plain language to describe them. A guy who's been lied to by every institution he ever trusted doesn't need somebody talking at him in church-safe language. He needs somebody who sounds like they live in the same world he does. That's what according to their needs means. You meet people where they are, not where you wish they were. Now let's be clear about what this isn't. It isn't anything goes, where there words Cal doesn't use. There are ways of talking Cal won't talk. Never to dishonor God. Never to tear a person down. Never for shock value. Never stacked up like it's a personality. When a word shows up here, it's because it's the most accurate word for what's being described. Plain speech in service of plain truth. That's the Ephesians standard. And that's the only standard worth holding. If you're somebody who prefers cleaner language, that's a preference, and it's a perfectly fine one to have. But a preference isn't a biblical argument, and if you go looking for a chapter and verse that says, "Thou shalt not say shit," you're going to be searching for a while. The Bible's standard is purpose and effect. Is it true? Is it useful? Does it serve the person hearing it? If the answer's yes, it clears the bar. I'll let you sit with that one till next time. Thanks for stopping by. Before I let you get back to your day, I just wanted to say, thank you. It really means a lot to me that you'd take the time to sit here and listen to my yapping. Time is the only thing they're not making any more of. So thank you for spending a little bit of yours with me. Do me a favor, would ya? Do the YouTube dance, hit the thumb, the subscribe button and the little bell. It'll really help us out. And leave me a comment. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, what you want us to go over. Hell, tell me what you're having for dinner if you want. I want to get to know you. I'll see you next time. Until then, take care.
I don't have all the answers, never claimed to know it all. Just an old farm kid still learning, working it out with y'all.